Hi, peeps. I'm Auriel Grace, and this is a spiritual show. So, okay, first, um, if you want, go to my website at aurielgrace.net and sign up for my newsletter. It goes out once a month, and it's not going to go out until like the end of May or the beginning of June this month, I think, something like that. Anyway, it has all the specials and all the fun stuff in the newsletter. Okay, so I have 3 events that I want to show you while everybody's gathering. Um, all 3 of these events are happening at the end of this month, or actually starting next Saturday. So this is the first one, and here it is. So Kendra is putting this event on in Chicagoland. So I know some of you Chicagoland people listen to this show. So this event is, it says here, explore connected creativity in works from 4 artists on interplay between inspirations and responses. So there's going to be a painter there, a photographer, a builder, and a jewelry maker. So Kendra is a jewelry maker, right? And she makes beautiful jewelry. I'll show you my ring when we finish. But the photographer that's going to be there is excellent. I've seen some of his work. His name is Dimitri, and it's wow. It's you'll love it. So anyway, it's going to be from 6 to 8 p.m. All right. You don't have to pay general admission, no paying. If you want to be a VIP person, it's $5. And it's the Sun Air Gallery at EK Automotive. All right. And that is 6595 North Agala Avenue in Chicago. So you can check out Kendra K. Lockhart on Facebook or Kendra Lockhart on Instagram. And she'll send you a link to, where and who and what. Okay. So check out Kendra's show. It's going to be pretty awesome. All right. And that one is on May 30th. Okay. This is the next event. This event is happening here in Greenbelt. I'm going to be there. I'm going to be selling a Psychic Story Series books and the other books as well. Lots of books to sell. Anyway, so it's a Reiki conference, and there's going to be speakers and vendors, and it's at this beautiful house in downtown Greensboro. So if you are in North Carolina and you want to come check it out, I'm going to be talking. My talk is going to be how to get rid of your goo and cooties. We're going to be talking about spiritual hygiene, baby. So that is on the 23rd. And if you want to know anything about that, just get a hold of me through Facebook or Instagram, or you can email me. Okay? All right. So, Melissa. All right. And then this is the third one. All right. So I'm going to be at the Vendor Fest. It's in High Point here in North Carolina, about half an hour away from here. I'm going to be selling jewelry and books. Okay. So if you have bought books from me here in North Carolina and you need them to be signed, you can bring your books in and I'll sign them for you. Sometimes I forget to sign them. So come on down. This one is going to be at the Centennial Station Art Center, and I hear it's a pretty cool place. I do. So come check us out. It's from noon to 5 p.m. Right. So let me get this guy. All right, cool. Hey, I'm going to sing this song, okay? Because both my Marys are here tonight. Mary Bowberry, Banana Fana Fairy, me, my Mo Mary, Mary, for both of you guys. Okay, so recently, I do these sessions. They're called accountability sessions. And so I teach people how to use their intuition. We figure out like who they are and how um like how their intuition works. So, and they have actually given me the ideas for the next 3 shows, including this one. And some of them, half of my accountability people have asked me to talk about insects, birds, and animals. And we did animals, I think, last month. So this month we're going to do birds and insects. And then we're going to talk about focus objects. So I love birds. In fact, when my mom was here last time, we went to one of my favorite parks. And in this park, there are these swings. It's this whole area where it's all treed in and really pretty, and it smells so good. And but they have put these swings there, and you can sit and listen to the birds. It's so nice to just sit there quietly on the swing. My mom and I, that was like such a nice afternoon that we spent at that park. And so I love to hear birds singing. I used to go to the bird sanctuary in Florida all the time. And see, there's my mom. Hi, Mom. Says, yes, it was a very lovely place. And the swings are really awesome. And so I used to go to the bird sanctuary all the time in Florida because I just love to sit on the bench and listen to the birds. Because birds are different all over, and I put my favorite birds here. I asked people what their favorite birds were, and so I put those birds in tonight. So we've got quite a few birds to go through. But the energy of birds, okay, so that's air energy, right? It's the mental realm. And when we listen to birds, when we hear them, right, we're processing the sounds, because who doesn't like to hear birds singing? I love hearing them sing. Bird energy helps us understand freedom because they fly, right? I know a lot of people have dreams of flying, and flying represents freedom. So either you want freedom, you are achieving freedom, or you achieved freedom. And that's those are the 3 reasons why you dream about birds. Okay, so their ability to soar above the earth connects them with the heavens, encouraging you to rise above limitations and gain a higher perspective. Birds are divine messengers. They are. I mean, I have tons of feathers here in the house that I've saved, and I just a feather. I never try to figure out what the feather is unless I actually know what it is. But if I think it's a pretty feather and it's in front of me, I pick them up, and I have them on my altar and different places in the house, mostly on my broom. My room is very decorated. So birds are divine messengers asking us to look, hear, feel beyond our physical realm. They encourage us to connect to our angels, spirit guides, and our creator. Trust our vision and intuition. So let's talk about some of our favorite birds here. All right. So the first one I have are bluebirds. I love bluebirds. All right. So bluebirds represent modesty, confidence, and happiness. Bluebirds remind us we are born to happiness and fulfillment. When birds show up in our lives, they remind us it's time to take time to enjoy ourselves, right? To just be in that place of happiness. All right. So if you want to draw birds into your home, what you can do is, and they are becoming rare. I looked this up because I read about it these are my reference books, these 2 books. Okay, so I read about bluebirds in these two books. And even in this book, it says that bluebirds are becoming rare. Um, and then I looked it up to make sure. And it does say that bluebirds are becoming rare. So if you want to draw them into your yard, these are the things that they like, right? They love shallow bird baths. They like it if it has like a little bubbler in it, for oxygen and stuff. They love having little drippers. Okay. So you can put like little places for them, but mostly they love bird baths. All right. You can put a, a box, those bird boxes where they can go nest. You can put those 3 to 7 feet off the ground, open areas. You can also provide supplemental food like mealworms or sweet. I think that's how you say it. Mealworms. They like mealworms. So making sure that in the box there is like kind of nesting stuff in there, and they like that kind of thing. Okay, so we don't want the bluebirds to become endangered. So if you see them, create a space for them. Okay, all right. So the next one, a couple of people asked for this one, cardinals. All right, so cardinals are renewed vitality through recognizing self-importance. And I talk about a lot. Self-importance comes from within. It is not outside of us. It is not the things that we buy. It's not the way that we dress. It's not what we look like. It's actually self-importance is recognizing that it comes from within. Oh, I forgot. This is the ring that Kendra made me. So it's a moonstone. It's really pretty. And she put a really cool band on it. It has, I don't know if you can see it, it has scroll work and flowers and stuff on it. So this is one of Kendra's things. She's also framing a labradorite piece for me to wear. Excited. Wait to see what she does with it. So okay, so all right, let's get back to cardinals. I just remembered I was going to do the ring. All right, so cardinals are renewed vitality through recognizing self-importance, which what comes within from within. When cardinals show up in our lives, it is a sign to reflect on renewal and vitality. Okay, take time to breathe, be present, be you. All right, cardinals like this is what cardinals like. But here's the thing, they don't migrate. They don't leave. All right. They stay in place, so they don't leave. Cardinals are highly adaptable in places that offer dense cover, easily accessible food. To draw them into your yard, cardinals like building nests hidden by dense foliage like dogwoods, cedars, pines, and you can hang bird feeders. Cardinals sometimes are little bullies. So hang bird feeders, more than one, so they don't bully the other birds. All right. Okay. So they do like dense foliage. That's where they like to rest, and that's where they like to build nests. Okay. So the next one, somebody asked me about blue jays, something about a children's story. Oh, you have lots of cardinals in Virginia. I've seen some cardinals here. I haven't seen that many, but I have seen some here. Yeah. All right. Blue jays, here's another bully. So if you're going to hang, always hang more than one bird feeder anyway, because you never know what kind of birds are going to show up. And so you don't want the big bad bullies to push the cute little finches and stuff away. All right. So And talking about that is blue jays teach us the proper use of power. Okay, so blue jays teach us discernment. They teach us to take in a situation and resolve it with grace rather than being a brat. That is true power, right? So blue jays like mixed and deciduous woodlands, especially those with oak and beech trees. Blue jays thrive in suburban neighborhoods, parks, and forest edges. So they're around. They're all over, and they are a loud bird too. They'll like, I don't know if they squawk or peep or whatever, heard them, and it's like, oh yeah, how are you? So get some binoculars if you haven't gotten any, and do some bird, you know, look for birds in your area. They're everywhere. Okay, so 3 people have asked me about eagles. When I lived in Colorado, one of my favorite side roads, I used to take this road on purpose and to make time whenever I took this road. There was this really wide stream. And I'm calling it stream because it was very shallow. But there were some eagles that hung out there. And sometimes if you just pulled to the road, you could see the eagles like diving down into the stream to pick up the fish and take it back up to the trees so they could eat the fish. And a couple times I saw eagles, like they're so fat from eating all the fish that they kind of wobble when they're flying, but they're really big. Eagles are very big. Their wingspans are like 6 feet wide, sometimes wider. Beautiful, beautiful creatures, beautiful birds. All right, so eagles, their illumination of spirit, healing, and creation. Right, so eagle habitats depend largely on access to abundant food and secluded, undisturbed terrain. Nesting and old growth and nesting on old growth and mature trees or sheer cliffs, bluffs, and rocky outcrops. So in Florida, there is the Eagle Watch at one of the beaches. It's at Honeymoon Beach. And there is an eagle nest that the eagles come back to every year and they lay eggs and then they get little eagles. And there's like a camera on one of the trees so we can watch the eggs as they're getting ready to hatch and stuff. And that nest is huge. It's like it's as big as a car. It's huge. And so and they hang out there and they lay eggs and their babies, they teach their baby how to fly and stuff. It's pretty cool. If you see an eagle nest, just know that it's not this big. It's huge. It's humongous. Okay, so and they do the golden eagles, I think, are the ones that nest on sheer cliffs, bluffs, and rocky outcrops. The the American eagle, they like trees. They like old growth trees, big trees. So eagles encourage us to look at our lives from a new perspective, take a different path, trust yourself and your intuition. Okay. All right. So finches. I love finches. I love them. They're so cute. When I live in Hawaii, there is like a lot of parks with very fine grass with grass seeds on the top, and the little finches this big and colorful. Um, they would come down, and there would be like 20 or 30 of them. They come down and eat all the little seeds in the grass and that, and eat the bugs, and they're so like this big, so cute. I just love finches. So finches are highly adaptable, and they are. Um, they're beautiful songbirds that thrive in diverse environments, from deserts, woodlands, to busy urban neighborhoods. Finches forage seeds, fruits, and if you have it as a pet, okay, you need to keep it in a draft-free indoor enclosure, all right, and kept at moderate temperatures. They don't like to be cold. All right, was this at Honeymoon Island? Yeah. Yeah, next time we go to Florida, Mom, we'll go to Honeymoon Island. Yeah, we're not going to Florida anytime soon. But yeah, yeah, we go to Florida, we'll go to Honeymoon Island. All right. I love Honeymoon Island. It's so pretty. I love going down over there. All right. So the next one is hawks. Everybody always asks me about hawks because they see hawks all the time. And there are different kinds of hawks. Okay. So I just generalized this because there's so many different kinds of hawks. And I know some of you will be like, oh, I saw this kind of hawk or that kind of hawk. Well, we're gonna do a generic hawk thing, okay? Because hawks also are in so many places all over the place. So hawks are visionary power and guardianship. All right, they're very fierce. All right, so if you want to learn more about them, about hawks, and I think there's another one that I'm going to do like this too. This is a great book, and I've been reading it off and on for the past couple weeks because I'm, nosy. And this is a great book too. So you can get both of these books on Amazon. That's where I got them from. Okay. It's their Animal Speaks by Ted Andrews. And I will have a link to it in the blog tomorrow. Alrighty? All right. So if you want to know more about any animal, check this out because it's a great reference. All right. So hawks thrive in woodland edges where they have access to dense trees for nesting and open fields, deserts, or grasslands for hunting. If hawks are showing up for you, understand they want you to start understand your connection to your guardian angels because they are fierce. They're about protection. So when they make an appearance, they're like going, hey, have you contacted your guardian angel lately? That's what they're really connected to. Okay. So they're also letting you know that even though you may not feel protected, you are all the time. It's up to you to decide to pay attention, you know. So be patient, present, and observant for signs so that you are making the best decisions for yourself. All right, so the hawk shows up, says, hey, paying attention to your guardian angel? They're sending you signs. Pay attention. That's what hawks mean. Okay, so try to do that. Be present. Pay attention. All right. So owls. Everybody wants to know about owls. Okay, so owls are awesome. Uh, I got to hold a little bitty owl. It was like this big. It was a little golden tiny owl, and I can't remember what it's called, but I got to hold it in my hand. And let me tell you something. When I was holding that owl in my hand, I didn't breathe. It was so, amazing. So it was it was like so amazing. Okay, so owls are about magic, omens, wisdom, and spirits. And there are many cultures that believe if you see an owl, um, somebody's going to die. But I think that connection is mostly because owls represent that different realm, right? Because when they fly, you can't hear them. You can hear them if they hoot. I like hearing them hoot. That means that the rodent population is down because owls like rodents. So that's why I like owls. One of the reasons. All right. So again, I understand that there are many types of owls, but we're going to do a general thing here. Okay. If you want to know more, grab the book. All right. So owls are highly adaptable predators. They absolutely are. Owls require areas that provide abundance in prey, small animals or insects, and suitable sites for roosting and nesting. Um, so, and they also do not make their own nests. They use other people's nests. They're like, yeah, you're done? Get out of here. So, yeah, that's what they do too. So I'm always glad to hear them. Again, that means rodent population is low. An owl is showing up, or you can hear its hooting call you. You are being reminded to remember dreams. Okay. Follow your intuition. Act on the guidance that you are given through your dreams. Okay. Dream journals are really important, especially if you really want to start to recall what's going on during dream time. And especially those of you who are very active, and those of you who aren't really into astral projection, remembering your dreams, a journal, okay? Because the owl magic can help you with that. They are, again, we have Athena, the goddess Athena, who had her owl that sat on her shoulder, and he represented wisdom. Owls represent wisdom as well. All right. They can guide you to that in wisdom. All right. Okay. So the next one is a peacock. Okay. Let me just move this up. Thank you. All right. So peacocks are so pretty, right? They're very fierce though. And they're very protective, and that's their thing. Watchfulness and protection. And I think that's the reason why they can become very aggressive. So be careful when you're around peacocks. Give them space so that they don't feel intimidated by you, because they will actually come after you. And their beaks are very sharp. I think my mom's cousin got bit in the cheek by a peacock, and ow, it hurt really bad, like took a chunk of her cheek out. So be careful around peacocks, even if they're roaming around the zoo and they're used to people. A peacock will, if it feels intimidated, it'll go after you. Okay, so be careful and remind your children to be careful around them as well. All right, so peacocks live in lowland forests, scrublands, and agricultural areas. Open ground. They like open ground. They like fresh water and tall trees for roosting. Peacocks are highly adaptable. They thrive in warm and semi-arid regions. So in Greek mythology, this was pretty cool that I found this. In Greek mythology, Argus, a watchman for the goddess Hera, had 100 eyes because he was a watchman, right? When he fell asleep during duty, he was killed. And Hera placed his eyes on the peacock, her favorite bird. And that's how the peacock got all their eyes on the feathers. And peacocks, there's a lot of mythology about peacocks in many different cultures, but that one I found today, it was a new one. So I thought, okay, we're going to share that one. All right. So peacocks remind us protection comes through psychic clairvoyant perceptions and spiritual hygiene. So because of all the eyes, they see everything. And they're like saying, hey, remember to be present and perceive anything going on around you that you feel uncomfortable with. Okay. So That is peacocks, right? Penguins. Right. So my mom has a crazy love for penguins. She does. She does. So that's why we're talking about penguins today. And really, I think that penguins are like her little spirit animals. Yeah, because this is really cute. All right, penguins, follow your dreams, lucid dreaming, and astral projection. All right, so penguins live in the southern hemisphere. Their habitats vary from icy Antarctic tundras to temperate rocky coasts and tropical islands near the equator. Penguins range too, like they can be like 4 feet tall and they can be little bits like this. They're like really cool, right? So penguins teach us to follow spirit guidance in our dreams. They remind us to keep dream journals. They help us to truly follow our dreams. So, like a lot of people receive information through dreams. Dreams are really important. The best time to receive information from spirit guides, angels, ancestors is while you're dreaming, because you don't have that. Your ego is also asleep, so you don't have the ego going, "Hey, what are you talking about? That doesn't happen." Rah, 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 rah. Instead, you're able to receive information because you're open to receive it. And so, while we are in dream time, we can receive great information, remember it, and write it down. And all you have to do is ask to remember your dreams before you go to sleep. I want to remember my dreams. That's it. Easy. It's not a crazy thing that you have to do. Okay. Okay. So that's what penguins follow your dream. All right. Robins. I like robins. I do. I like their color. Yeah, I like them. So if you want to bring in robins into your yard, this is what they require. And robins represent new growth. Okay, so robins require short grass areas for foraging earthworms and insects. They can come in my yard. I've got lots of earthworms and insects in my yard. Dense trees or shrubs for nesting, and they line their nests with mud so that they lose all the little twigs and stuff together, so they line it on the inside with mud. So if you want, robins really love bird baths. This is another bird that will go and use a bird bath. They love fresh water. Okay. So if robins show up in your life, they're asking you to follow that creative inspiration, expand and grow that. Okay. All right. So here's our last one. And it's the wren. So again, little tiny bird wrens. So they are resourceful, very bold, because a wren is very bold. And they also represent in some cultures, like they are the gatekeeper. They open the gates to Elysium or to heaven, so they're the gatekeeper. They will open the door for you. All right, so wrens love heavy, low-lying vegetation like briar patches, brush piles, decaying logs. They like nesting in old woodpecker holes, rock crevices, or dense tangles of vine. They eat bugs. They do. Wrens are welcome in my yard as well. So if a wren shows up, their message to you is to keep your focus on the big picture. Be resourceful. Remember, sometimes our path is not always the ordinary one. Be bold, be cool, be you. All right? Okay, so those are the birds that I have for this week. Next week, I'm doing insects. So let me know what insects you want me to talk about next week, because I'm going to do that. And one of them for sure I'm doing is a praying mantis. I love praying mantis. So that's going to be one of them. Which ones do you want me to talk about? Okay. So remember, if you're in Greensboro next week on Saturday, please come visit us at the Reiki Conference in downtown Greensboro. I'm going to be posting about it this week. Okay. Oh, dragonflies. Oh, I think I have dragonflies on my list. Yeah. Yes, I have dragonflies on the list. Okay. All right. So, all of you, please have a wondrous week. Remember, stay safe. Please stay safe. And keep your heart open and aligned with the energy of love. I'll see you next time. Bye.